Let me ask you a question. If you had the opportunity to live your best life, to live as your true self, to set goals, to achieve goals, and just enjoy all that life has, would you grab that opportunity? I'm really often asked why I am so passionate about my coaching business. People say to me, hey, I know you're doing coaching now. You seem so passionate about it. And we've seen you have successful careers in other areas. What is it about coaching? What makes you so passionate about this? The answer to that is really quite simple. When I was in my mid-40s, I was struck down with the highly debilitating illness known as Guillain-Barre syndrome. It's a quite rare autoimmune condition. It actually affects 1 in 100,000. Like, hey, I'd much rather win the lottery than have Guillain-Barre, but it was certainly a turning point in my life, and also a time I actually felt, in one sense, quite lucky that I had an illness that I could recover from. But I woke one morning and went to walk down the hallway to the bathroom and found I couldn't walk. So it freaked the hell out of me. I was sort of thinking I've had a stroke or something. I had no idea what had happened, but very, very scary. So at the time, I was a successful manager of a GP practice, a general doctor's surgery. So I rang my boss. I was so scared what was happening. She suggested that my son drive me down to see her, which he did, and she took some blood tests. She had no idea what was wrong with me, and suggested if my walking got worse that I should go to hospital. And I'm thinking, hospital? Come on. It was a few days before the Easter break. I was going away. I wasn't going to hospital. Well, news for me. I was admitted to hospital later that evening and progressively deteriorated, and then in 2 days I was actually in intensive care, kept alive by drugs and machines. I bear the scar of my tracheostomy here. And for 7 horrible weeks I couldn't move. I was just totally lifeless. I couldn't even close my eyelids. They filled my eyes full of petroleum jelly because I couldn't close my eyes just to keep them from drying out. So I couldn't do anything. I was just lifeless there. I could hear and I could understand, but I couldn't move. So it was awful, really, really awful, really scary time for my parents, who were about 80 at the time, and also for my sons, who were sort of, around their early 20s. Anyway, from there I was transferred to a rehabilitation facility once I got a little bit of movement back in my fingers, and so then I had the long journey of daily physiotherapy, hydrotherapy. This machine used to lift me up and drop me in the swimming pool. I think I was the only person to ever have worn a bikini in that pool. I mean, the facility was there for mostly older people recovering from stroke, so it was a sad place to be. Anyway, I slowly recovered and left the rehab facility on a walking frame. I had to learn how to stand, I had to learn how to walk, I had to learn how to feed myself, brush my teeth, how to take care of myself. So I shuffled out. I had a walking frame. I used my wheelchair a lot, and I was armed with a number of aids that would normally be reserved for somebody in their much older years. So anyway, difficult time. But I slowly recovered. I had more therapy after I left hospital, so it was a really long and slow process getting back to something like the vibrant person that I was when I got ill. But I had lost all my confidence through that experience. I couldn't even, I'd been a successful manager. I couldn't even answer the telephone. My boss sort of let me slowly resume work, but it was just a shadow of my former self. So shortly after that, menopause entered the fray, and with that came another whole series of emotions and series of things to deal with. So And I'd lost my confidence, I'd lost my sexual confidence, I'd lost my libido, I'd just lost everything. You know, life had just been turned upside down totally. So I just knew I had to find my way back out of that. So, and that took quite a bit of research, quite a bit of reading, quite a bit of, you know, trying to put myself out of my comfort zone, doing what it took just to, you know, stretch myself, just to try and get some confidence back. I even did something really radical in that I went on an overseas trip on my own, something I'd never done before. And I just needed to get away. I needed to find some answers. And thankfully I did. You know, that trip was kind of a turning point in my life, and I did find answers. And so I slowly got myself back to now being really enjoying life, living in a very fun and fulfilled way. You know, I follow my passions. I live a minimalist life that suits me. I tend to share, you know, just want to share my enthusiasm for life with others because it's just friggin' awesome. So that's why I'm so passionate now about coaching, because I've got the opportunity to help other women who are in that dark place. I mean, I got to a point where I was laying on the floor crying with unhappiness because I just was not happy. I was so depressed. So I had to make some changes. And I know women that have had, you know, chronic illness, or they've been through menopause, or they've just lost their way in life. You know, there's so many demands on women from other areas, you know, from family and friends, and whilst we love them, often it can be quite detrimental to our soul. So it's so important now just to nurture your soul, just to know your true self, and to really get out and enjoy all that life has got to offer. So that's why I'm so passionate about coaching, because I have the opportunity now to help other women who are in that place, in that dark place. And there's certainly levels of darkness, but if just to know and understand themselves, and just to get back in touch with their sexuality again. So as a woman, there's so much to be loved and so much to enjoy about our womanhood. So it's just so rewarding for me now to watch other women go through my program and thrive at the end of it. It just changes their life. And that's what is so important to me, because I know what it's like to be in a dark place, and I know what it's like to live just in the best way. So my program's called the I'll Have What She's Having program, because I kind of, you know, that's how it is. I want people to have what I've got. It's really, really great. So the more women I can help to do that, the happier I am. It's just really, really good. So I'll be releasing some details of the program, and look forward to helping as many women as I can, and just to let them have what I'm having, show them how to do it too. Okay, thank you, bye.